What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. Got some awesome Draco duels for you guys to check out, showing you how powerful and just how good Draco can be, especially now that it has access, much like a lot of the control decks, to 3 copies of Solemn Judgment. I cannot stress enough how much of a big deal 3 copies of Solemn Judgment is for a true Draco deck, especially considering Draco's like one of those decks that can kind of go first and it can go second, and sometimes if you go first, you open with Inspector Border, you just automatically win the duel. Against a lot of the like combo decks, any deck basically playing Sekka's Light, you open this against like, I don't know, Altergeist or Salamangreats. Basically, you just kind of automatically win. You guys will see that in the first duel. His opponent has those 1-card explosion cards, Draconet, which just got limited in the OCG. I think he top decks Fossil Dig, which gets him Oviraptor, another kind of 1-card full combo, another card that's, by the way, limited in the OCG. But it just doesn't matter because he has the Inspector Border. So he has to go for this really awkward play where he has to Synchro straight in the Borreload Savage Dragon, which, by the way, has no link monsters in the graveyard, so it can't activate the effect, just to try to get over this guy. So that's what I like about Inspector Border. Your opponent has to go for these weird, awkward plays. A lot of times, it takes them off the track that they want to go to. True Draco player can easily capitalize by distributing his Apocalypse and popping the Borreload Savage Dragon. Gonna get the spiciest top deck Solemn Judgment. Once I saw this, I saw the game state, I was like, this game's over. He has the Dynamite Knuckle, plus he has Solemn Judgment. He also has Monarch's Erupt. His opponent tries to go Dynamite, or he tries to go, Draconet. That triggers Dynamite, flips over Erupt, basically GG no re. He is gonna go Lambda, don't even matter though. Dragon's Mirror, his spicy tech, gonna get shut down by Solemn Judgment. I wonder, what was he trying to summon with Dragon's Mirror? I don't actually know. You guys let me know in the comment section. What was he trying to summon? I guess I could look through his extra deck, but I don't want to go ahead and do all of that. Anyways, he's gonna pop the Lamba, draw a card off of Heritage because he did send the True King's Return to the graveyard, and the Monarch's Erupt is just such a powerful card. I've always thought it's so funny that True Draco get like, it has like one of the worst reputations in Yu-Gi-Oh for being an unfun deck that people don't want to duel against, but a deck like Guru Control has such a positive reputation. It's basically like the same deck. I mean, both decks want to open with their field spell, back up one monster with a bunch of floodgates. They both run There Can Only Be One. I feel like it's the same exact deck. They both run like triple Solemn Judgment now, but you can see he's just running over his opponent, taking him down. I like that he tried to go for Guard Dragon plays under the Monarch's Erupt. Now that is big brain plays right there. He's like, Cap, can't no Monarch's Erupt stop me from going into my Guard Dragon combos. Second duels against Salamangreats. This time he's going second, and Salamangreat opening hand, not really good. You do not ever want to open with 5 monsters in Salamangreat. You generally want some spells and traps. It'd be kind of nice to maybe open with a Rage or a Roar, or I don't know, maybe some different hand traps. Effect Veiler is historically not very good against True Draco. Mainly because their effects, for the most part, they can activate during either player's turn, so half the time you can't even use Effect Failure on the monsters anyways. But let's go ahead and roll it. Maybe he can draw into some better cards because he has Flame Buffalo, so maybe that'll actually help him. Ooh, no, he drew into another Buffalo, and then he drew into Jack Jaguar, like the cards you never ever want to draw into. I think the only thing worse than drawing into Jack Jaguar in Salamangreats is probably Salamangreat Sanctuary. Now the thing is, he did have Foul, or he summoned Foul. If he would not have drawn into Jack Jaguar, he could have actually ended on a field where he had Abyss Dweller. And Abyss Dweller, he may not have actually known, but Abyss Dweller would have actually helped him in this matchup because it does stop the True Draco spells and traps from activating in the graveyard. Now that actually can be pretty good because then if your opponent tributes them, they don't really get any benefit, any bonus effects outside of, I guess, if they have Heritage, but that's pretty much it. True Draco can easily break a board like this. He's just going to attack the back row, which was Salamangreat Roar, so he did actually have it. And he tries to activate Effect Veiler. I don't know what people are thinking when they Effect Veiler True Draco monsters. That is not how you're supposed to do this because all he has to do is just chain. Ignis Heat basically is a vanilla until your opponent stupidly activates an effect, which he just did, and yeah, he's going to activate Ignis Heat as Chain Link 2. It resolves first, and now he just kind of needs to get rid of the Banelinks, and he can trash this guy's field. He can do that by tributing a True Draco trap. He must protect his Sunlight Wolf, otherwise he might, he's just gonna lose it anyways, but doesn't matter because he will be able to do battle damage, and even though he's under Card Demise, and he can't do any battle damage, he can still attack. He's gonna go Demise, or excuse me, Pot of Desires in main phase 2. A little bit of icing on the cake. I wasn't really sure if that was necessary, but he's like, Cap G, don't tell me what's necessary. I want all the Ignis Heats on the field, and this is really where Salamangreat start getting smashed. When and honestly, this happens with a lot of control decks. When True Draco puts multiple Dracos on the field, it becomes so difficult to mount them because as you keep activating card effects, they keep going plus by activating their Dracos. And this is the reason why I didn't know about the Desires, because now his deck doesn't really have that many cards in it, especially for something like Dynamite Knuckle. He might not even have a target for Dynamite Knuckle, but as he keeps activating card effects as Salamangreat player, he will continually go plus. Then we know that there's a good chance, yeah, he has, probably some floodgates down here, whether it be there can only be one, or the Monarch Stormforth, etc., etc. I think he might also have a Solemn, which is going to get rid of the Heat Leo, and I think this guy's basically about to run out of gas. This duel is a wrap. He pops the back row just to make sure that he can't get hit with like a Salamangreat Rage, and now he can simply just wipe his monsters out, and this should be a GG no re. So yes, this is the kind of a showcase of like how True Draco can go first and they can go second. Mainly, I think one of the reasons that they're going second is so strong, even though their go first is obviously like ideal, especially in game 1 with the Inspector Border shenanigans. Wow, 50 life points. Can this be the comeback? No, this will not be the comeback. I like how he's attacking into one of his monsters. He's like, I won't lose to you, I'll lose to myself. But the True Draco, like when your opponent puts negations up, they generally can't negate cards that activate in the graveyard because they so that's one of the reasons why True Draco can kind of go second. Now this was a duel that I thought he would lose because I don't think that Sky Striker is a great matchup for True Draco. I think this is arguably True Draco's worst matchup, but sometimes you get lucky. I mean, this guy looks like he's playing a build of Striker that looks to go first or second. Maybe that's why Mind Control is in here. Mind Control one of your opponent's monsters, send it to the graveyard for, I don't know, Area 0 or Multi-Roll or something like that. So I didn't think that this was going to be like a super win on paper, but obviously, Card of Demise makes everything so much better. He's going to go ahead and he's going to attack the Shizuku. Once again, a troll, another person who tries to negate Ignis Heat, only for Ignis Heat to say, bitch, did you just try to negate me when my monster effect wasn't relevant? I think I'll go plus, why don't I? So yeah, these people are just giving the True Draco player just free pluses. I don't quite understand it. He's gonna go into kinda. Fair enough. I guess he just wants to stop the Ignis Heat from attacking. Problem is, I believe he's actually going to tribute the Ignis Heat off the field after drawing some cards. No, it looks like he wants to draw cards after he tributes. That makes sense. Draws into a Card of Demise, and his opponent just promptly rage quits. He knew that he was going to lose his kinda in battle to the Dynamite Knuckle, and his back row were Mind Control and Afterburner, and I don't really care how many spells he has in his graveyard. The Afterburner isn't going to provide him any actual card advantage, so he was going to lose. Not to mention, True Draco player had 2 cards in hand and about 1 billion back row. Plus, oh wow, well this is just GG right here. I forgot True Draco can also run Imperial Order because that's a thing, and that's basically game. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed those quick Draco duels. If you did, give a video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos. And because we're so close to getting that 10-minute ad revenue, why not? Let's just go ahead and show off the deck list to the one person out there in the Yu-Gi-Oh community who isn't familiar with a new format True Draco deck. You got your 3 copies of Ignis Heat because you run 3 copies of Disciples and also Heritage, so you got to run 3 of this. Dynamite Knuckle would be ran at a higher number, but sadly it is limited, and also True King's Return is limited, so it's not like you're going to run higher than that. Most people I've seen run 2 copies of Majesty's Maiden just because you're not really running that many other like True Draco monsters, unless maybe if Masterpiece got unbanned and came back to 1, maybe you'd see people move towards like 3 copies of Majesty's Maiden, but right now people are just running 2, and then it kind of seems like the other non-True Draco monster that people are in love with right now is Inspector Border. I know that I have seen some builds that run Amano Awada because Amano Awada is traditionally a much stronger card going second, and it can be absolutely amazing against like Pendulums and Thunder Dragons because it basically has a built-in Dark Ruler No More, and we know the normal summon isn't that important for Draco because they get additional normals off of their spells and traps, so it's perfectly fine. The spell lineup from what I've seen, incredibly standard. You're running 3 of all your Draco spells, that being Disciples and also Heritage. Your Dragonic Diagrams at 3. Card of Demise will be at 3 in Draco forever, as long as Draco and Card of Demise are both like things in Yu-Gi-Oh! And then it looks like he's running 2 of Pot of Desires and Pot of Duality, so that you see them evenly. One is a +1, the other is kind of a way to dig deeper into your deck for your power cards, and obviously Draco does not special summon because we ain't playing no extra deck. 3 copies of Solemn. This was obvious that it was going to be in the Draco deck. Solemn Judgment stops against evenly match and basically the things that beat True Draco. So now you don't have to run like just weird things like Iron Wall and whatnot. So like you have counters for that. And then you just play the Floodgates. You play the, you can play There Can Only Be One. You also play Monarchs Erupt. Then the rest of these are just kind of like your Draco traps. Plus you have your auto win against spell-based decks like Sky Striker, which I think is traditionally Draco's worst matchup. So why not have an auto win button in your deck?